Hi, my name is Third Catayoc and welcome to Third Talks, where I get to talk about things that I love talking about, and that's everything. And today, I'm going to share with you my experience in the Toastmasters International District Speech Contest. Even before we were born, we have to admit, competition was already there. In fact, out of the millions of sperm cells that have been released by our father, the quickest and the strongest one survived and met our mom's heavily guarded ovum. So ever since then, competition was already there. I started my interest in public speaking ever since I was in preschool. When I had to recite a poem or a certain piece in school, my mom had to let me stand on our coffee table and then let me practice it with her. She was my mentor, my tormentor in fact. She was the one who trained me to digest and feel every word that I spoke. She taught me about vocal inflection, of gestures, of facial expressions. Ever since then, I had been a participant in school speech fests and even in school debates until college. So public speaking was already part of me. After I graduated, my best friend introduced me to Toastmasters. But then again, because our focus was to pass the licensure examination for the electronics engineers, I had to put it to a halt first. So in 2008, I decided to search for Toastmasters, and then I got lucky that out of 5 that I've inquired, there was one person who replied to my inquiry, Zaldico. It was June 2008 when I first attended the meeting of Kamanava Branch Toastmasters Club. I felt so comfortable with the members. There was Tita Eliza Pailago, and then Ellen Amar, and then Zaldi. But I got pretty much comfortable with them. So over lunch, we talked, we got to know each other. Then Ellen told me, you know what, you better deliver your icebreaker speech now. So I said, okay, why not? So then I delivered my impromptu icebreaker speech. From then on, I realized that in every challenge that they gave me, I'd always say yes. So in July 2008, Zaldi asked me if I'm interested to join the triathlon contest. And without even asking what the mechanics were, I said yes. And before I knew it, I joined a contest of 3 categories: impromptu speaking, prepared speech, and the very dreaded vocal solo. I was there and luckily I made it to the division level. And I placed first runner-up in table topics or impromptu speaking. And I think my greatest achievement there was to compete against Elizabeth Oropesa, and I beat her. I had been competing in Toastmasters since 2008 and represented Division A quite a lot of times already. Because of the pandemic, Toastmasters International had to go to a different route when it comes to the speech contest. So the usual brick and mortar wherein the contestants had to speak in front of a live audience is already gone. The national officers decided to push through with the International Speech Contest sometime in April at the peak of the ECQ. So at that time, it was really difficult to find great equipment. I remember when I posted my strong opposition to this idea of online speech contest in the Toastmasters International group, someone commented, "Don't rain on our parade," because they wanted to be entertained by watching the speech contest. Well, for the audience, you can only see the glitz and the glamour of the competition itself, but you don't know the difficulties that the contestants have to undergo. I must say that it was a success because the audience doesn't really need to know what happened behind those speeches. But more so, this is for the organizers, that their first priority, that the topmost in their consideration should be the contestants. Perhaps simply asking them how they are during the briefing, or after the contest how they are, I think that's already something that we would appreciate. Honestly, this speech contest is really a huge challenge. Why? Because I had been in Toastmasters for 12 years and it took me some time to learn to be comfortable when it comes to handshaking or hugging someone or giving commendations. So it's just so ironic that right when I'm already comfortable doing those things, I had to unlearn them. Because the most difficult about online speech contest is that you can't rely on anyone else except yourself. We're lucky for those who had a great team who really helped them out all the way. Unfortunately, I didn't get the support from our area or division officers. So thankfully, people from Kamanava Branch Toastmasters Club and Toastmasters Club of U-Belt helped me got through with this. They were the ones who provided feedback and even training every night. Some people outside of our clubs even extended their efforts to do it. So I'm really thankful to them. To those people who are still experiencing or undergoing something right now, it's not a good idea to join an online speech contest. Why? Because you need to be strong enough to accept whatever outcome there is. The most difficult part of this speech contest is not really to win or to give the best performance. It's not even to give the most memorable answer. It's not about winning, really. It's about overcoming the obstacles, overcoming the difficulties, right from getting the equipment, praying that the internet connection would cooperate. The biggest preparation that I had to undergo is the psychological preparation. For people who are like me, who are living alone, it's difficult. Why? Because there would be nobody to cheer for you right in front of you when you will be speaking. Nobody would shake your hand, and after you delivered your speech, nobody would tell you you're doing just okay, congratulations. It's just you will give a tap on your back or give yourself a round of applause. Because if you want, who else will? Madam Contest Host. The feedback that I received from them came in too late because after all the tears that I cried for 2 hours, it was only then that they saw my performance. And that's something that I had to accept. When my name was called that I won, I couldn't share it with somebody else because, as they say, happiness is real when shared. But I didn't have anyone to share it with right at that moment because it's just it. And I think this is part of the new normal, so I have to suck it up. Will I be joining another speech contest next year? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I have to check my mental health. But for now, I have to relax and focus on what I can do to our club.
For the winners for this particular contest, we have third place goes to Third Catayoc.